Okay, Shalom Israel. Hope everybody's doing well today. Shout out Kappa Kappa and its congregation in Guatemala and the brothers and sisters that they teach from Cali to Georgia. Also on the Atazah Shalom. Also shout out Kazakia, SOW family in Virginia, Quatazah, SOW Houston, and Zion, SOW Rochester. Hope all the brothers and sisters are doing well and fighting and maintaining strength. Salakia. Today, we are continuing, you guessed it, Israel's pride and the lies that we tell ourselves. We're in part 4. I promise you I'm not dragging out the topic just for the hell of it. It's really important that we take our time to continue to explain our delusions, to go into more depth explaining the lies we tell ourselves and the extremes we go through to justify the negative that we carry ourselves with. You can use this to start off with. And then angle that to where it's there. We haven't yet, sis, but we'll let you know when we get to that. We appreciate that. So we're going to go into more topics concerning how by nature, how we process things is completely disconnected to the Heavenly Father. And that's important. We've gone over another class now. We might have a zeal for the Most High. We might have a desire to do that which is right. But just because we have a desire to do that which is right and our intentions seem well, it doesn't mean that our thoughts are automatically aligned with our thoughts, with the Most High's thoughts. So what I want to start off with is Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 8 and 9. Akim in the outside, we're going to need other readers besides Amayakia. Okay, so just be prepared. Isaiah 55, verse 8 and 9.
Isaiah 55 and 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, says the Lord.
The Most High has to repeatedly say this all throughout the scriptures. Just because we know the law, we have fringes, we salute, we serve our husbands, doesn't mean how we process things over these years is correct. You can be in the truth for 10, 15, 20 years and still, throughout our life, have processed what you're going through the wrong way. Because the thing is this, we might have common sense logic when it comes to following the law, how to please the Most High, how to see the good in Most High when things are favorable. But how many of us process loss the right way? How many of us think like the Most High thinks when we're experiencing adversity? How many of us think like the Most High when we've experienced trauma in our life? These are the arenas where we're disconnected, where our outlook is disheveled, and we need to be reminded that in all things, in all of our experiences, we are rehearsing the righteous acts so we can learn how to stay connected to the Heavenly Father and learn how to think like the Most High. This is a major aspect of the meaning of life. The problem is we don't teach enough that the responsibility is on each and every one of us to learn how the Most High thinks. We're so fixated on the bare minimum. Let me just follow these laws and be done with it. Let me make sure we honor the Most High on the Sabbath and be done with it. Let me make sure we sit back here and cook my husband's meal and be done with it. We don't take the time that through all the ups and downs, the peaks and valleys, the Most High is trying to find out, do we think like him? Are our thoughts aligned with his thoughts? Verse 9.
Verse 9. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways.
The Most High is saying, just like the heavens is higher than the earth, the Most High's way and perspective of his intention to deal with us and the thought pattern we're supposed to have in correlation to what we go through is so much higher and how we process things. Why is that so important to drive? Because too many times our reality, our solutions, our perspective about life and how we look at the Most High and how we look at the things, the battles we go through in our life is tied into what? Our emotions, how we feel, how another person makes us feel, how another person and their conduct, how I react to that.
God, it's our skewed perspective of justice and judgment.
God.
A lot of us don't feel like we deserve to go through what we're going through, our circumstances, our life, or we feel like we deserve a certain outcome. We deserve to see a certain outcome. We deserve to see someone suffer when they have finished. We deserve to see someone fall when they've made us feel a certain type of way.
And just how we process things is based off of how we feel instead of the Most High's thoughts. And how is the Most High's thoughts in correlation to what I'm experiencing? We don't detach from how we feel enough to take the time to figure out what the Most High is trying to teach us in these different circumstances in our life. That is the main reason why we can't overcome spiritual humps and we can't figure out how to see the good in things. Okay? So, read verse 9 again.
Isaiah 55:9. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
Most High's thoughts, how the Most High processes things, how the Most High wants us to process things, how he wants us to look at all the dynamics we go through is completely different and greater than how we look at things. Okay? Now, let that go and go to Psalms 94 and verse 11.
Psalm 94:11. For says, the Lord knows the thoughts of man, that they are vanity.
He says the Most High knows that the thoughts of man and women are vanity. When we sit back here and look at the 1828 definition of vanity, the definitions, these are a few of them, there's many of them. Vanity means fruitless desire or endeavor. Whatever you're feeling, whatever you're experiencing, however difficult your life is, whatever challenges and circumstances that you are experiencing in your life, serving the Most High. The problem is how we think. Our mind tends to vanity. And all vanity is our thoughts and how we feel leads us to fruitless endeavors, meaning endeavors that lead to nothing spiritual.
Yeah.
Endeavors and decisions and feelings that take us to nothing productive. So if everything we think and how we naturally operate leads us to nothing productive, that means our thoughts and our feelings lead us to spiritual what? Death. And this is why the Most High says his thoughts are so much greater than our thoughts, because our thoughts lead us to endeavors that do not fulfill us spiritually. When you're feeling sad, when you're feeling depressed, how do we act towards one another? We push each other away. We neglect people. We are destructive in our mannerisms. What is the Most High saying? How he thinks. Everything that he thinks and everything he wants us to think should be leading to some type of spiritual conclusion. But our thoughts tend to vanity. Our thoughts lead to fruitless endeavors that get us nowhere spiritually.
Yeah.
We give our mind to vengeance, anger, hatred, cruelty, coldness, quitting, running away from endeavors. All of it. If you sit back here and think about how your mind operates, you'll start seeing patterns in your mind You'll start seeing patterns in how you process things. But our thoughts always tend to fruitless endeavors. Some of us, our mind always goes to being cold and disconnected.
Okay.
Some of our end game is just hatred, selfishness, and I'm going to separate myself. Even though I'm physically present, my thoughts lead me to separation. Other people, their thoughts lead to violence.
Okay.
Other people, their thoughts lead to quitting. And that's their end game is always leaving and quitting and running. This is how you know, or other people's thoughts are always geared to suspicion and not trusting anybody and seeing the worst in people. Tell me if I'm getting hot.
No, true. True.
Because this is what vanity looks like in real time. This is how you know that your thoughts do not align with the Heavenly Father. Because our thoughts lead to fruitless experiences. And the fruitless experiences always lead to, another one is this. My mind always leads to somebody trying to quit on me and leave me. Somebody's zero-sum game is somebody is going to hurt me. Or nobody loves me. That's their zero-sum game. Am I right or wrong?
Okay.
It's nobody loves me. I need to leave. I got to quit. I don't trust these brothers. I don't trust these sisters. I don't trust my husband. I'm going to be overly critical and I'm going to destroy the image of my husband. Then I'm going to destroy the image of the church body in my eyes. Then I'm going to destroy my own image.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to rinse and repeat. Then I'm going to see the worst back in my husband, see the worst back in the body of Christ. Then I'm going to see the worst back in myself. Rinse and repeat. He says the thoughts of man, the thoughts of women, it leads to vanity. What type of cycle, mental cycle, do we take ourselves through? And where do you end after you give yourself to whatever you're feeling? It's always destructive.
Yeah.
If we're going to keep it a beam, our thoughts, the vanity is that it leads to destructive. It leads to distancing yourself. It leads to fueling a lack of trust. It leads to fueling animosity. This is what Most High said, listen, your thoughts are so below mine. It's time for us to grow up and learn how to think, how the Most High has intended for us to think. Does that make sense? Then other people say that their mind always leads to just no trust. Everybody's out to get me. There's a paranoia there. Somebody's always out to get me. Somebody's always trying to bully me. I'm always the victim.
Yeah.
Either you're the victim, or I want to run, or I want to stay in my room and shut the rest of the world out. Pick your poison. Oh, you're here to, you're going to leave me also? You're going to abandon me also? These are the cycle of vain thoughts that as people we play. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares about me. He says this is the psychosis that we have. And we'll have this psychosis and still follow the laws. Am I right or wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And wonder why the Most High ain't working on us in our life. We have these mountain of negative, we call them insecurities, but they're really vain thoughts and vain ways of processing scenarios. Why is it vain? Because you'll spend hours meditating on something that's not true.
Yeah.
Or hours meditating on something that leads you nowhere but sadness and depression and self-loathing and hatred. Am I right or wrong? Mm-hmm. The Most High is giving us all the answers to our outlook and the sickness of how we process things. We just got to dig a little deeper. And the Most High is so beyond just these laws that we can't get past. This is why. And it sounded so controversial back then, and it sounds controversial now. What Paul says is not about just these 600 laws. Can we wake the hell up and stop thinking that our righteousness is predicated because we wear stringy clothes and we don't do craziness on Friday night? We'll just wait till Saturday to do it? Or we'll go to a Thursday night happy hour to do it? That makes us righteous? Are you serious? This is also a delusion. Let that go. Go to Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 13.
God. Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 13 reads. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready, sir.
God. Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 13 reads, for my people have committed two evils.
The things written aforetime are written for our what?
Learn.
Listen, we committed two major evils back then, and we commit these two major evils now. Continue.
For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living water.
Listen, they have forsaken the source you need to keep going to grow. Do you think the cistern of living waters is just 10 commandments?
No.
Do you think the cistern of living waters is just a moral, civil, dietary, and ceremonial law? If it's living water, it is a continual source to go to. Once you know the laws, and some of us who actually gave a damn would put the law on the wall, right?
It's a small few.
That's why there's some of us, a handful that actually chose to read and write, would put it on the wall and remember and teach your kids. Everybody else need to do that. But the living waters is we sat back here and chose not to give ourselves to a source that can constantly sustain us and feed us, which means this source is a constant place to go to make sure your vain thoughts are cleared up. How many of us have lived our lives serving the Most High and saying, all I got to do is come to class and I'm good. All I got to do is make my husband the type of chicken he wants and I'm good.
Yeah.
All I have to do is sit back here, go to the zone, make money, and I'm good. That was a major thing for many years. Just go to the zone, make your three, and the rest of your day, your mind can run wild and be the beast you want to be.
You can spiritually shut off.
And that's the point. But not have to be accountable to going to these living cisterns. The cistern is a well. So he says, we've committed two evils. One is not going and sticking to the source of water, the source of the Bible. Listen, you can sit back and read verse 13. It connects to John chapter 7.
Yep, living water.
Huh? The living water. That's my point. This is what the living water is. It's the source of spiritual nourishment that you have to keep going to. But why do you have to keep going to this source of spiritual nourishment? To constantly cleanse your thoughts out. Why do you need your thoughts cleansed out? Because you know what? Every day, circumstances in your life brings about new filth in how your mind responds to these scenarios that you read wrong. You process experiences the wrong way. So by nature, because that's what's inside of us naturally, so you got to go back to these cisterns, the source, to clean your mind out on a daily basis, and we don't do that. If we're going to be honest, we're at our worst when we don't self-study. I know a lot of people that can go to class, go through the motions of listening to the Bible, being spoken for 2 or 3 hours, and then there's still head trips. Because how many of us are going home, going to these cisterns, these scriptures, and attacking every wacko thought you have?
Yeah. And there's some problems that need more than just study.
Yeah.
They need more than just one counsel, one conversation, one nightly process.
You know why? Because you have 1,000 reasons. You have 1,000 vain thoughts.
Exactly.
And you read one verse.
Yeah. Exactly.
Listen, what's the word? What verse that everybody wants to pull?
I can do all.
No, not John 3:16. Yeah, I can do all things. Yeah, Philippians 2. Get out of here, right? Scram.
all things.
In Christ which strengthens me.
Christ is going to
You're pulling all that strengthening verse, but you're sitting back here dancing and hanging out with these vain thoughts.
Yeah.
That keep destroying you, that keep you in this negative cycle of outlook. So, read verse 13 again.
Come, verse 13 from the top. For my people have committed to evil.
Well, listen, before we go into that, I just want to make sure I didn't give you all the definition for vanity. One for vanity is fruitless desire or endeavor. The second is emptiness. It's empty thoughts. What does that mean? A lot of how we process things leads to you having a void in your spirit. Am I right or wrong? If we are left to our own mental design, we will be void of happiness, void of clarity. We'll just be dead in our spirit if we are allowed to tap into how we naturally process things. So when you're sitting back here in the middle of a council, or you feel shallow inside, or you feel a void, or you feel this deep unhappiness or resentment or anger, what is the Spirit telling you? You're letting your vain thoughts take over. Because you have vain thoughts. You have thoughts that lead to emptiness in your spirit. All the words emptiness, fruitless desire or endeavors, you can sit back here and follow that emptiness and go achieve physical gratification.
God.
This is not about talking about spiritual emptiness. I mean, physical emptiness. It's about spiritual emptiness. It's about spiritual fruitlessness. Because the Most High chose us to be servants so we can grow spiritually.
Yeah.
So, fruitless desire or endeavor spiritually. Then it says emptiness spiritually. Or vanity, the one I have in big bold letters, is untruth. What does that mean? We constantly lie.
Yeah.
Because we're motivated and we move by our feelings. What is the point? That means how you feel is a what? Is a lie.
Yeah.
Especially when that feeling leads to emptiness, sadness, depression. I'm disconnected. I'm heavily skeptical. If those are where your thoughts are taking you, why would you keep entertaining? Because I believe what I see? Because I feel what I feel? The answer is yes. But somebody needs to tell the students that how you feel, they're lies, and you know they're lies because what are they leading you into? Quitting, running away, escapism, seeing the worst in your husband and brother and sister and the people you work with. What does it lead to? Emptiness, paranoia, worried about the worst case scenarios that happen in your life, extreme fear. Scripture says Christ didn't give you the spirit of fear, but of what? Power. So if I'm fueled with fear, just know that's a demon. It's a vain thought that's going to lead you on a quest to destruction. An empty pathway, an empty process of going a direction that will lead you nowhere spiritual. So it is important to be conscious that these feelings that we grapple with, that we have normalized in our mind, is literally the things the Most High says is separating us from Him. Are we clear so far? Because we don't, let me get you one second on me. We don't talk about this enough. And it's not explained like this. Because we'll sit back here, do good works, and play with these vain thoughts and wonder why the Most High is not happy with it. Or wonder why you can't shake this fear, why you can't shake this paranoia. He's going to leave me. Every day he's going to leave you? How many people think that? He's going to leave. He's going to leave. Damn, every day, every minute. It could be in a 24-hour period. 23 of the hours were phenomenal. There could be one word or one conversation. I knew you was gonna leave. I knew you was gonna get out of here. What? But there was a whole month of good.
Yeah.
Why all of a sudden you're gonna leave me in the next 5 minutes? Those are vain thoughts that we have played with and flirted with so long. We think it's natural. Problem is we have 20, 25, 30, 40 years of thinking these vain thoughts and they've gone unchecked. So what happens is you're used to it.
Yeah.
You're accustomed to not trusting. You're accustomed to living with fear. You're accustomed to living in fear that somebody's going to leave you or quit on you or this is too hard, nobody loves me. These are things, or everybody should have bullied me and take advantage of me. We live with this and we think it's normal because we've normalized vain thinking.
Yeah.
But not realizing the Most High has brought us to Christ to attack these thoughts that we've normalized. On top of the law, on top of the scriptures, he's bringing us here to get us a chance to attack and not normalize these thoughts that have made us sick, that have pushed us through endeavors that have led us and gotten us nowhere. Because whenever we fuel these issues in us, we've ended up getting nothing spiritual in return. And it will only receive more sadness, sickness, and unhappiness behind it. Because we follow untruth. We follow lies. Because it feels right.
It just goes to show how good, how great Satan's doing his job.
And how great we're locking into it. Well, because Satan can only do what you want him to do.
Okay.
You want to be lied to. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's what all these other classes have been about. We love to be lied to.
Yeah. Yeah.
We love to tell ourselves we're the victim. We love to tell ourselves that these vain thoughts that we have are actually truths.
Yep.
Because when you're dealing with counseling a brother or a sister, that is the obstacle. Nobody is arguing over the Torah. And it's not. Nobody's arguing over that. What are we arguing with? We talked about it in other classes about 2 Corinthians 10. Imagination. We're arguing with imagination. Vain thoughts. Lies that we told ourselves. Feelings that we're so used to feeding. We feel worse if we let them go.
You know, it's crazy. There was an exercise I have certain brothers do. And I had them tell me the story twice. I had them tell me the first story in the most blandest, non-seasoned, most objective way possible. Just give me play-by-play what happened. We call that the dried chicken breakdown. Then after you give me the dried chicken, then give me the seasonal. Give me the emotion. Give me how you felt about it.
You weren't there. You didn't see how he looked back at me, son. I could see the evil in his face right through his iris.
You want to do me harm.
Look, right through his iris, son. I know what was in his heart, son.
But that's a real sentiment. But to cast judgment and people to analyze the problem, I need to hear the actual story first. What actually happened to let me determine if what you were saying is correct.
But you got to go through all this Dr. Phil crap, because we sit back here and believe the lies we tell ourselves.
That's the point.
Somebody has to sit back here. The counselor has to decide. There was a brother that used to be in the truth. And this is what brother said. When you're listening to this brother counsel, you have to divide his counsel by 5, and you'll get the answer. If you divide the counsel by 5, you'll get the understanding. Why am I saying it? Because that's how you gotta deal with people. You think it's that person back in, this is when I was in San Antonio when I first got down here in like 97. That was, hey, whatever he says divided by 5, you'll get the answer.
Yeah.
But that's people now.
Yeah. Huh.
When I'm hearing stories, I'm hearing reports, I'm like, okay.
You're deciding how much of this could be a possibility.
And how much of it is cap?
How much of it
Is this person's bogus way of looking at it?
Exactly.
Distorted way of looking at things. Because that's the problem. Because people aren't honest about when I'm listening to something, when I'm in a council with somebody, when I'm in a dispute with somebody, do I have a tendency to be proud?
Okay.
Do I have a tendency to see the worst in scenario? Do I have a tendency to sit back here? It's anger what presents me. It's pride what presents me in the middle of a conversation. You cannot decipher an issue properly if you're not honest about how situations affect you. If you can't do that, then you really can't counsel. Okay. And your reports can't be trusted. Okay. That's the honest to goodness truth, and that's what he's explaining when he's sitting back here listening to two people saying, "Get your hands out of my pocket." Yeah. They're both feel that they were wrong, but in the reality, most of them just don't know how to listen. But can you accept that you have a tendency to you're not a good listener? If you don't realize you're not a good listener, then you know what? Guess what? Everything you say from there on out, you got to take with a grain of salt.
Maybe partial truth.
That's the point.
Because you're listening to what you are looking for.
So what the Most High is trying to do with all of our spirit is to clear out all that fuss, all that vanity, all that lack of clarity, and teach us how to see things with clarity and true intent, like the Most High is looking at us. And that's the work. Whether it's with husbands, wives, brothers. That's what counsel is. So, okay.
Give me a wisdom. No. 2nd Ezra 14. Verse 14.
No, not that. I know what you're going with.
No, they don't.
Say 14.
It's try. I got you.
Yes.
You're gonna start at 14.
Yeah, the one.
Yeah. Okay, read verse 18. That's the 5. I gotta get there. I know you're going. Yeah.
Let this play out a little bit more, because there's a leasing zone now.
Okay.
There is. I promise you. Just give it a second.
Hold on.
I need to sit back here and talk my little wax Spanish in these classes. ¿Cómo están ustedes?
Oh.
Israel. Me llamo Award Nair. Estudio la Biblia. I mean, just for the record, we're gonna have a Spanish class coming up very soon. I'm being silly. I can't do it. They'd be like no listeners if I was teaching Spanish. ¿Por qué nobody listen? But listen, Elijah, Karai, and Amiyati are going to be teaching soon. Well, as we get closer, we're getting closer now.
Sorry, this week.
We're starting. Let's go weeks ago. All right. But we're starting on Thursday. We're not sure. Well, we are starting on Thursday. I guess we haven't decided about if it's going to be live or on a separate platform.
Couple maybe. We'll probably.
So it's coming. We're going to be having Spanish classes, and hopefully we get a different demographic of Israelites who are looking for the book. But back to the vanity. So listen, if I thought I was going to be teaching Spanish, that's me having a vain thought. That's vanity on my part. Sitting back and telling myself I can get on the mic and actually teach. I remember when I was in Guatemala selling at Woodcow for like 2 weeks, I was using sign language. Puro aceite. Que rico. I said like 4 words. I said like 4 words. Puro aceite and que rico. And I was like, rico. I was like 4 words. And that was it. Puro aceite que rico. And they would laugh. I'm speaking good Spanish. They're like, this guy is sitting back here trying. I will spend my kids out because this guy is trying.
But you know the reason why they're buying their interest because they're like, man, he's trying.
I was really humble.
Yeah.
It was those 4 words and finger pointing and this and most I like my grandson. I said, I was sounding. Anyway, back to the point. Jeremiah 2:13.
Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 13 reads, "For my people have committed to evil. They have forsaken me the fountain of living water.
The Most High is the fountain of living waters. He's the source to give clarity in anything you're going through. Read on.
And hew them out cistern, broken cistern.
Listen, a cistern is a container. We've created our own containers, our own source of wisdom, our own source of clarity, our own source of answers. Read on.
That can hold no water.
So this is what the Most High says. Not only did we stop listening to the Most High, we sit back and follow feelings that will lead us to nothing. We'll follow methods and approaches and sources. The source is us. The source is how we feel. We'll follow our feelings and can hold nothing. There's no substance to how we feel. We've said this in many different ways over these last 4 weeks. Like, Jeremiah 17:5 says, curses man who trusts man and trusts in his own arm. What he's saying is, we trust in how we feel and wonder why the Most High don't honor us, and wonders why the more we follow how we feel, we just sink deeper and deeper into sadness and depression and failure and lack of productivity and more fear and more running from our battle. Fueling our thoughts get us nowhere, and there's no benefit from it. But we keep doing it, and we keep running from the cistern that actually works, the method, the Most High's method that actually works. Okay. And the reason we do that is because of 1 Corinthians 2 and 14. First Corinthians. I'm ready.
1 Corinthians 2 and 14. 1 Corinthians 2 and 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit.
Listen, the natural man or woman, natural means what? The sensuous nature with its subjection to appetite and passion. The problem is we don't choose the Most High's method, his cistern, his source of getting clarity, because we are the natural man. We are the natural woman. We sit back here every day and just move off of our feelings, our senses, and our passions. Papa, guess that's
About truth.
say it.
Kind. Somebody give me natural point number 10 real quick on 1828. Point number 10. Yeah, natural.
Natural.
Kind.
Unaffected,
Uh-huh.
unassumed, according to truth and reality.
And
Oh my goodness.
a war was going over about how vanity, one of the definitions was untruth.
Yep.
Because that's what we believe in. We like to believe in those lies, right? Or when we talk to people, we want them to tell us lies so that we can continue to live in this false reality.
You know what it means? Unaffected to truth.
Mm-hmm.
It says unassumed according to truth, meaning truth we don't care about what truth is.
Yeah.
Well, if a person doesn't care about truth, what does a person care about? How they feel,
Yeah.
which is a lie. That's the problem. The only thing that matters to us is if I feel vindicated, if I trust my instincts, but my instincts lead me to my spiritual destruction.
You know, it's crazy. That movement, that social construct of needing to feel seen. Everyone needs to have their own voice.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs to feel, if you don't feel respected in your place, if you don't feel like you have your own voice in your job or your workplace or your school, you need to find somewhere else that respects you and appreciates you and sees you how you want to be seen.
Yeah.
That is the definition of living in a delusion.
That's a delusion.
Because if I'm not seeing how I want you to see me, I want to be a dolphin. You don't look at me as a dolphin, then guess what?
I identify as a dog.
I'm going to take you to court.
I'm not a whale. I'm not a whale.
I'm a dolphin.
I'm not a platypus. One of those ugly nasty, like, what the hell is this? No, I'm not a platypus. I'm a dolphin.
These are my pronouns.
Yeah.
I'm a blue dolphin with these pronouns. If you don't identify me as such, I have a problem with you.
Yes.
And you're the problem.
Yeah.
And you're not an ally. You're not a team player.
Or you're supposed to. I know we're joking about the animals, but I'm supposed to be looked upon as a leader.
Exactly.
If you don't look at me as a leader, then you hating on me.
Yeah.
You don't love me. You have a problem with me because obviously I'm a leader. So why do you look at me like I'm not a leader? It must be your problem. It must be your fault. Is that not a delusion? That's a person that lives in lies. And once again, what's the definition? Unaffected.
Unaffected,
Yep.
unassumed, according to truth and reality.
And this is what kills us. The natural man, the natural woman is not in reality. The person that is moved and motivated by their feelings, make decisions based on how they feel that day, is not in reality. Listen, we're only in verse 3 or 4, but this is important.
It is.
When you have strong emotion and people can't talk you off the spiritual ledge, just know you're in denial and you're lying to yourself.
We've seen it before. Where it'd be 5-6 men saying the same thing to a brother, and he can't see. And he will reject that knowledge. And
you'll see it in counsel in your own home. It's just 3 o'clock in the morning. There's tears going on. I'm not knocking anything and anybody. I'm just calling it like I see it. It's not a knock. But we have to sit back here and get out of this delusion that we carry ourselves in. That we tell ourselves. We tell ourselves how we feel is what it is. And we sit back here and Most High calls us that are guided by our feelings and our senses natural. And this natural person who is guided by their feelings and senses is not in reality. Which means the words that come out of their mouth is fantasy talk. So if you are in this situation, the teacher wants to lesson. You can't take offense to somebody that's in a fantasy. Because what do? As the teacher, you're getting mad that your student or the brother is in fantasy world. And we're mad and we're taking offense that the words that are being said are hurtful and attacking. But you forget that these emotions and these statements and these natural conversations are all delusion. And they are in a delusional state. Are we capable as teachers to process that and maintain our poise? So as we are receiving statements that could be cruel, out the spirit, disrespectful, can you remind yourself that these cruel, disrespectful, out-of-pocket statements are delusion? Because if you can stay in a spiritual position knowing that this is delusional conversations, it'll be easier to pull this delusional thinking person out of their delusion. Because if you don't, you'll get caught into full-blown arguments in delusion land. And where does that lead you? Nowhere. Because now you're tapping into their delusion, and now you're sitting back there thrown off on a vain expedition. Yes.
I was going to say, if I'm catching this right, we make the mistake as teachers or supposed teachers, trying to be teachers, of taking a defensive posture when this happens.
Because, yes, we're taking a person's delusions personally. We do it all the time. We do it with brothers we work with. This person a damn delusion, and I'm mad because it's hot outside, and I don't like this delusion he's telling me. Right or wrong? Yeah. Or it's too early for me to deal with these delusions. Yeah. Right. Right or wrong? Yeah. It's 5 o'clock, and 5 o'clock a.m., and I don't want to deal with this 4-letter word, this mierda. Is that right?
Yeah, mierda.
Mierda. Oh, close. It's close. All right? That's why I can't teach on Thursdays, Doc, for that reason.
I ain't gonna lie, you said mierda.
He just, I was like,
Mierda.
correct me.
No, but when you good.
Let the righteous smite me. It should be honest. How else can I teach bars on Thursday unless y'all check me out?
Yeah, it's better this time. Yeah, he got the road all right. He got the
Mierda.
yeah, he got it right.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm almost there. Not really, but I'm just saying. Anyway, going back to the point. What's natural again? I'm gonna read my definition that I pulled from the 1828.
Couple those verses.
Okay.
On the point. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 8, verse 11.
Y'all gonna make me do a part 5 and a part 6, all right? Well, we gotta do it. We here. This is, I guess it's a summer of lies, all right? A summer of lying to ourselves, all right? Summer of delusion. All right? This is a summer of delusion, all right? So be it. Anyway, where are we at?
Ecclesiastes 10 and 11.
Come.
Hold on, let me type it in real quick. Okay, go for it.
Rise not up in anger at the presence of an injurious person.
But this is the point. We're talking about leaders and people that know better. We've got to be very conscious that if I'm in a position of leading, guiding somebody else, I can't get entrapped with this delusional person. So if they're deliberately offending, if their sickness is now affecting me, I have to take a step back. Because now my clarity and what I can give them is being altered, is being affected. And I will be caught up in the delusion, and I will be the one burned harder at the end.
Guilty of reacting to the delusion. But once again, everybody has to be taught that our people live in vanity. They live in a delusion. They live in a vain mindset. And we live in a lie. This is the problem. And the problem is if you're living in a lie, we read it in previous weeks before, you are going to be an honorable plant, a dishonorable plant, or what? Deceivable plant, or deceivable seed. So are you going to be that person that lives in a lie, who ends up being lukewarm in your works? So it lets you know the lukewarm works are tied in to your fantasy perspective, tied into your natural thinking perspective. Yep.
You know, just on that point, I was reading a couple not documentaries, but a couple of passages about caretakers, home caretakers, and how when they take care of certain people in elderly age, the elderly people revert back to the old racist nature, right? Let's say you're black, or you're of a Native American, Mexican descent, Latin American descent, and you're dealing with an elderly white lady, a white person. They might be cool in their same mind, but they have some psychological trip out every once in a while, and they revert back to their old 1960s mentality. And they calling you all type of N-words and all type of racist, derogatory terms, but you clean their diaper every day. And you put them to sleep, and you feed them, you take care of it. And
It's like driving Miss Daisy. But keep going.
no, but
That's what it is. If you've seen the movie, that's what it was. I know it's an old movie of Morgan Freeman. But keep going.
But the point is, you're this person's caretaker, and this person's only life.
Like the movie Driving Miss Daisy. The white woman was sitting back here calling all these words. Yes, Miss Daisy. He's sitting back here driving the car, driving her around town. And she's cussing them out and disrespecting them. Yes, Miss Daisy. Yes, ma'am. I understand. It's okay. But keep going. I'm sorry.
But you have to have a high level of tolerance.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're the one who gets in trouble.
Yep.
You get thrown in jail for mistreating this elderly person. You lose your career. You lose your job for losing your discipline. And also understanding this person is extremely sick. This person is extremely unwell. Or on the last line.
And the reason we're going into this is because when you are teaching and counseling your loved one, or you're working with the brother that you're dealing with, instead of arguing with the person, you have to deal with the delusion. You have to fight to teach the person out of their delusion. That's where the work is. But the problem is we are attacking and responding to the repercussion of the delusion versus working on or trusting that this delusion follows them in everywhere they go. We have vanity. We have these delusional thoughts, and these which are sensual thoughts.
Yeah.
You have to first identify what this person's sensual thought is that they always revert to. The thought that they always revert to that's untrue. The mentality they have that is always untrue. That they repeat as you get to know them. You have to identify that and then continue to attack the delusion until they learn to distrust the delusion. That's the work. You have to teach your student or your wife or the brothers to distrust the delusion that's crippling them. If they're ever going to cleave to the Most High in Christ at a higher level, if they're ever going to get the responses from the Most High that they say that they want, that is why 2 Corinthians says, casting down imaginations. What is the casting down of imaginations? But the tearing down of these vain thoughts that people have grown up with since their youth. You know, people, when you deal with the core of them, well, this mindset has got me here this far.
Yep.
Okay, you've gotten here this far, and your spirit is dead as hell. You're still standing. There's people that sit back here and their Facebook monitor was whatever their name, front name is, first name, whatever name, last name, but I'm still standing. Who gives a shit that you're still standing? A lot of people are still standing.
Yeah.
That means you're supposed to get a cookie out because you're still standing?
I'm a warrior.
You deserve something for standing? What are you talking about? But listen, I'm only bringing this out because people don't say it online as their Facebook monitor. But you know what they do? That's how they think.
No, they do so.
I'm good enough. I'm still here. My methods work got me this far.
Yeah.
So they might not say still standing, but they think I'm still standing. With these vain, delusional thoughts that go nowhere, that lead you nowhere spiritually. And what the definition of vanity is, fruitless desire or endeavor, emptiness or untruth. When you think vain thoughts, these vain thoughts lead you spiritually nowhere. So you know what happens to a lot of men and women? They'll be in the truth for 15, 20 years and still not be able to see things spiritually. Still not have clear spiritual perspective about their battle. But they're still standing. They're still here. They're still here wasting time is really what they is. You should be saying, whatever your first name and last name is, wasting time. It's like a war wasting time to hire. That's how it should be. Because whenever you have your vain thought, you're wasting time. Or whatever your first name, hide away last name. Because that's what you're doing. Because these thoughts and these vain emotions and these sensual things we hold on to get us nowhere spiritually. But we're on the clock spiritually. We have to produce and show the Most High that through our lifetime, we've gone to the spiritual cistern long enough and frequent enough to earn a chance to get to the kingdom. What are you going to say when you've wasted 10, 15 years with your vain way of looking at things, your sensual way, your, what was that sensual, that last word? That sensual, yeah, that natural, it was sensual, natural, lack of reality mindset. We hold on to processes that are unnatural and are not settled in reality. And we'll be out of reality for 10 years, thinking the Spirit's with us. Or making excuses for why the Most High is not blessing. It's the brothers. It's the payroll. How come some guys, we all got the same payroll, how come some guys are getting blessed, how some guys aren't? We're all getting the damn same. Little bit of nothing. How come some guys are on the come up and some guys aren't? Some people are holding on to vain thoughts. And some people are holding on to lesser vain thoughts. We all got vain, crazy perspectives that got to get worked on. Some of us are holding on to more of them. And until you let go of those vain, erroneous ways of looking at things, those untruths about how you look at your battle in life, your battle with brothers and sisters and your husband. Till you let go of that, you're going to be in the same jacked up spot until you sit back here and go to the right cisterns or methods to fix your mindset. Okay. Read 1 Corinthians 2 and verse 14 again.
1 Corinthians 2 and 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High.
We're trying. We're supposed to be here to gain the Spirit of the Most High. We've read in Wisdom of Solomon 1 different chapters about being rewarded the Spirit. That's the prize, not the carnal. You want to get rewarded the Spirit. What you want is the fruits of the Spirit. Meaning, in order to get the Spirit, you have to produce certain works to gain the Spirit. That's why when you read about the fruits of the Spirit, they're all sucky things you got to overcome. You ever read the fruits of the Spirit? Long suffering, humility, patience, meekness, temperance, all these things that suck.
Fun, bad.
They're not fun. They don't feel good. Am I right or wrong? All the fruits of the Spirit, hope. What to have the fruit of the Spirit of hope? That means there's a lot of despair around. Those are real nice facts. To abound in hope. That means to abound in hope. Things look kind of damn bad. And when you're processing a situation that's 75% crappy and 25% good, a person who's abounding in hope can see the 25% good and can block out the 75% of crap. That's how you abound in hope. Most of us can see hope when it's a sure thing in front of you. That's not hope. That you got that in the bag. Yeah.
That's when you find that you're on the right track.
That's how you know you're growing. That's what abounding in hope is. Abounding in faith is, I can see good when it's a little harder to see good. I can see the lesson. I can sit back here and endure even meekness, to endure injury without resentment. That means you're growing. The more people are pissing you off and offending you, and your ability to absorb their delusion and their hate, not take it personal and still show love, that means you're growing. And the more you do that, you're getting more fruits, you're gaining more fruits of the Spirit, and you'll eventually be given the Spirit. That's the game we're learning. That's what we're supposed to learn. What do you think we're here? Just follow some damn tablets? That's all we gotta do? Then let's everybody take one of these home. Well, I'll ask I get everybody to camp mandate, read the hell out of that every damn day, and you good. And if you really want to be baller, for every room, put one in the room. That gonna make you holy and righteous?
No.
Are you kidding me? So if we want to grow, what do we have to do? We have to attack our crazy, delusional, lying thoughts, our vain, lying thoughts, our sensual, natural thoughts that all lead to fueling our feelings, our skepticism, our pride, and our doubt. And the more the Most High puts us through experiences, he's trying to see, am I going to feed that fear, feed that doubt, feed that paranoia, that skepticism, whatever your vice is? Are you going to sit back and feed it? Or are you going to go to the cisterns of the Most High in Christ and choose what's the lesson? What's the fruit of the Spirit I'm trying to learn through this? Because I need to keep learning and acquiring fruits of the Spirit so I can be rewarded the Spirit. The natural man is like, this don't make no damn sense to me. Everywhere I go is just suffering and sacrifice. Everything is loss. Everything is push-ups. Everything is a correction. That means you're just a natural ass person. How about that? Everything is work. That means you're a carnal person that don't understand the Spirit and you're light years behind. You can have all the Bible verse in the world. If you can't process that what you're going through, the Most High trying to build your spirit up, you are eons behind another person who knows less verses but can understand what fighting this battle is about. That's what the Most High says. Years don't determine wisdom. You can have all the years in the world, but have all these vain thoughts thinking you're in the spirit and you're not. Because the Most High is going to deal with somebody who understands, hey, how I process things is vain, is erroneous. Yeah, that's another one of the definitions. Empty. It's not true. If you can sit back here and recognize that the feelings and the thoughts that are in you are untrue, you're halfway there. Most people can't determine and decipher if their thoughts are true or untrue. It's hard to counsel a person like that. Because they're not even humble enough and connected to reality enough to realize that their thoughts are off. They'll call a vain thought a natural thought, a premonition. They'll say a vain thought, that erroneous thought, is the spirit talking to me. You got another 5-10 years, bro, lost before you're going to figure it out. And that's the problem. Because we've lived our life trusting our erroneous, vain thoughts, thinking that's the spirit, thinking that's our protection. It's really your demise.
It's just like that man that was making those excuses for 38 years. We end up being the same way because we want to live in our own fantasy. We don't want to accept the reality where the Most High has us in. And it's not like we don't have the solutions. We got the scriptures. We go to class. We got counseling. But as long as we tell ourselves that our way is right, our thoughts are right,
our feelings, and that's the point. You can have Bible verses, but if you're living off of feelings and you trust your feelings more than the word, more than the lessons he's teaching you, you're screwed. Hold this and go to Leviticus 25 and 55.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 55 reads. Ready?
Yep.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 55 reads, "For unto me the children of Israel are servants."
Listen, we were called to serve him. But once again, I quote this verse a lot. For men, we know what we want with our wife if she's going to be our servant, right?
Yeah.
She got to get in our mind and our heads. She can see how we see things how we see things. She can be locked into the spirit. We'll play that crappy card, right? They got to understand how we think, our reasons behind things. Automatically know that if we're tripping and we don't mean to be tripping. Automatically read into our disorganized, up and down thoughts. They're supposed to lock in. We'll say the word lock in on the top. What does that mean? Just follow. Follow how I look at things. But if the Most High created us to be servants, that means we're supposed to learn how to think like the Most High. And process adversity like the Most High wants us to process adversity. The Most High has told us from the beginning of time and given us hints. I'm going to send you David so you can learn how to process adversity. I'm going to send you all these great men and women to teach you how to process adversity. And do we ever pick up on the hints? Hell no. What do we choose? How we feel, our vanity, our emotion. We choose our vanity and our emotion in our decision making. We don't sit back here and follow the mentality of men and people who the Most High approved, but we'll call ourselves servants because we follow the law. But never take the time to eliminate and destroy our vain, lying, empty, spiritual way of looking at it. And wonder why the spirit ain't with us. Because you know when the spirit ain't really with you. How you're running in a brick wall, you're working harder, you're trying to sit back here and for all the mistakes you make. I'm trying to be better at inspection, and I'm trying to be better at getting here in the morning. I'm trying to get to class on time. We're doing all these little cosmetic things. Trying to sit back and tighten up my uniform. You know, all these little outside things, but you're not dealing with your vain psychosis of processing. And you want results without changing and attacking the vanity that's in your mind. I promise you, I can go 7 more classes about vain thoughts. Just type in vain, and it's a bonanza of verses about vanity. Am I right or wrong? It's a vanity bonanza. This is a bunch of classes and verses that talk about our delusional state. Vanity, delusion. And it's a lot of them because that is a major issue. It's not just idolatry. Idolatry is only predicated on the delusion that you choose. That's all Satan is doing.
Yep.
What delusion are you into? There's a God for it. Yep. There is a God for your delusion. There is something you can focus on to embellish that. But when you do, you're disconnecting and you're disassociating yourself from the Heavenly Father, regardless if you're found the lost. None of that matters. If you can't follow the law, don't matter if you don't sit back here and fix your thoughts to. That's all I'm saying. I'm not discounting the law. That's not what this is about. But how can you follow the law and not tap into the cisterns of the way the Most High does it? Acknowledging that you're his servant, which means whatever you're going through, he's authorizing, and he's expecting you to look at it a certain way, the way the Most High wants you to look at it. The trial of a man or a woman is in his what? Reasoning. How they process something, how they look at a situation. Do they reason? Look up reasoning if there's another definition that really hits. Are they reasoning through adversities and trials in their vain way of looking at things? Or are they reasoning through it with clarity, the way the Most High wants them to do it? And you'll know if you're in the spirit, or if the thoughts you're playing with are in the spirit, if these thoughts are leading to what? Emptiness. Destruction.
Quitting.
Paranoia. Despair. Depression. I want to leave. If those are the thoughts, and that's the line of thoughts, and that's the end result of where your thinking is going. Because you know where your thoughts are trying to take you.
Okay.
And if that's where your thoughts are trying to take you, that is a what? Delusion. Most High put me through this to destroy me. That's a what? Delusion. A delusion. This is literally how we operate and how you can determine if your thought is vain or spiritual or more attached and aligned to the thinking of the Father. That's important that you start along with counseling. And we're going to go to the answer about how to deal with this. But you can start at the very least, you have to start processing that. Are these thoughts I'm thinking, are they really spiritual or not? Is this really true or not? And if those thoughts got you to despair and quitting and violence and skepticism and hatred, and want to make you run and quit and leave, then you know it's not the spirit. That means it's Satan. It's vanity, because it leads you to something that's unfruitful. And unfruitful, a spiritually unfruitful result. Okay. Where are we at? We read Leviticus
25, verse 55.
And we know that. We know that we're supposed to be servants. So that means we're supposed to serve the Most High in our thoughts and follow the successful men and women in Christ and how they process adversity. That's what you're patterning. You're not just patterning laws, you're patterning the mindset and the mentality that they had through what they were going through. That's why even in Ezra says, don't talk about how the wicked are going to be destroyed. You should be talking about how the righteous is going to get saved. You need to study and focus on how the righteous are going to sit back and get through it. What is it going to take to put on righteous thinking? What is it going to take to eliminate those vain thoughts, those delusions, and those lies that we feed? That's what should be discussed. Okay. Did we finish 1 Corinthians 2:14 when we were going over it? Let's go back and we're going to go to Romans 3.
1 Corinthians 2:14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him.
And that's the point. Most of us don't want to hear about long suffering, patience. What is the Most High teaching you through this experience? What's the lesson he's trying to teach you? Instead of sitting back here and having fatalistic thoughts, what is the lesson? Is he teaching me temperance, long suffering, humility, discipline? The consequence of negative outlook? Is he trying to teach me how not to fear? Listen, if the Most High wants us to abound in fearlessness or abound in love, the scriptures, love overcomes fear, right? Perfect love casteth away fear. So perfect love casts away fear. What does that mean? Somebody give me that verse real quick. Perfect love casts away fear. Perfect love casts away fear. Somebody give it to me. Come on.
1 John 2 and 5.
So read 1 John 2 and 5. Perfect love casts away fear.
4 and 18.
Oh, 4 and 18.
Come on, man. Making me a liar.
1 John chapter 4 and verse 18.
1 John 4 and 18. That
There
wasn't
is
my
no-
fault. That was the other guy. I'm messing with you. Just joking.
There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear.
There's no fear in love. Perfect love casteth out fear. What does that mean? If you love the Most High, you will trust that whatever he's putting you through is to build you up. If you really love the Most High, you won't operate in this spirit of fear. The fear is the delusion. The fear is the lie. So if I love the Most High, I trust that whatever the Most High is putting me through, it's for my good. It's for my spiritual good. Not my carnal good. It's for my spiritual good. Read that verse again.
1 John chapter 4 and verse 18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear.
So listen, what was you going to say? I don't know what this is.
No. So
Read
perfect.
stuff.
Yeah, like perfect in the e-sword. It says right here, applications of labor.
Okay.
So it takes work. It takes application.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's a constant process
Yeah.
to convince myself that what I'm going through is not torturous.
Exactly.
What I'm going through is not extraordinary or it's undeserved.
Mm-hmm.
I deserve it and I can get through it. Most has taken me through it for my benefit. That's what Romans 8 says.
Got it.
All things work for good for the prophets.
Yes.
Yes, what you got?
Real basic question, but is the Most High taking you through this?
I'm going to say this. Everything you're going through, the Most High has allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
Whether he's taking you through it or he's allowing it to happen. We have a choice to sit back and extract the spiritual lesson from it. That's the reality of it. We have to extract the spirit. Listen, Satan put Job through what he put through.
Yeah.
Satan put Job through all those things he went through, and he had an obligation to look at it spiritually. And when Job was moping too much, he said, stop being a little, you know what, be a man.
Yeah.
And deal with this. So even moping is weak. Even complaining is weak. So we have an obligation, wherever it comes from, whatever lesson it comes from. What's the Most High trying to teach me? And then, once I can accept that, what's the Most High teach me? Then I have to say, you know, whatever I'm going through, I have to love the Most High and trust him enough to know whatever he's putting me through is to develop my spirit. What was that verse in Romans that talks about that? To the good
Romans
of
8. Romans 8 and verse 1.
Romans 8, because this is important. 28. Because this ties in. It ties into what was being explained in 1 John. Read that.
Romans 8 and 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High.
So what is he saying? If I love the Most High, I know what the Most High is going to put me through is for my own good. That's why it says perfect love casts out fear. Because if my intentions are right, if what I've done for the Most High is pure, then whatever I'm going through, the Most High is doing it to build my spirit up, to strengthen me so I can, or to purge me so I can do what? Produce more fruit and do greater works for him. But you got to love the Most High to believe that. And if you don't believe that, you don't love the Most High like you say you do. Because so it takes love to trust that whatever the Most High is putting you through is to develop you and to strengthen you. And if you don't think that, that means you don't love him. If fear dominates you, that means you don't love him. Now go back to 1 John 4 and 18.
1 John chapter 4 and verse 18.
Matter of fact, give me verse 19.
Verse 19. We love him because he first loved us.
That's the point. Do you believe the Most High loved you first before you sat back here and did anything for him? If I know that, and if I know the Most High's loved me before I did anything for him, why am I going to fear anything? Do you believe he loves you? And if he does, and if you do, I should say, and if he loves you, why am I afraid of what he's putting me through? Because he's only putting me through something to strengthen me. If I love him, if he loved me before I did anything for him, why wouldn't he love me now when I'm doing something for him? Do you see the spiritual psychology you have to learn to get out of these vain, circular, sensual ways of looking at things?
And you know what also shows? All the greats thought this way. Reading John. But Paul said the same thing. You know who else said that? David. Give me Psalms 119, verse 165. David did the same exact thing. So it's not a New Testament concept. It's not just, God's all about love now. No, the Old Testament did the same thing. The righteous man kept this idea, kept this thought process.
Or the honorable seed.
The
The deceivable seed
didn't believe it.
wants to believe the lies they tell themselves. They want to believe the lie. You keep believing your lie. You keep believing in your fear. You keep believing in your doubt. You keep believing in your skepticism. And when everything's said and done, you won't have enough words to speak for yourself. Because you didn't go to the Most High cistern enough. You made your own little holy, defective, broken glass cistern. Keep going.
Read that. Psalms 119, verse 165.
Psalms 119, 165. Great peace have they which love thy law.
It goes back to the point again. Great peace.
The people that love the Most High's law, love the Most High when he's done for them. When he said great peace comes to those who love the law, do you think it's just about loving the 10 Commandments?
No.
Great peace comes to the person who loves the Most High regardless of whatever you're going through.
It's the process the Most High.
Whatever he's going through, I still love the Most High. And I see that he loves me enough to keep me alive. How many times David was about to die, and he said, I'm just glad you ain't killed me yet. Remember that? No, he probably forgot that. He said, I'm just glad you ain't killed me yet. What kind of spiritual mindset do you have to say, man, at least I'm breathing? The Most High has given me favor because I'm not dead yet. And I'm in a cave. I didn't do nothing wrong. This dude took my wife.
He's still preserved.
I was chosen to be the king. Yeah. All these excuses to have a crappy outlook. And his answer is, man, I'm glad I'm breathing. This guy ain't killed me yet. Thank the Lord, the Most High is great. And he's not tapping in his right neither.
Read from the top again.
God, Psalms 119, 165. Great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing,
And adversity,
and nothing,
hardship, failure. Read.
nothing shall offend them.
Nothing is going to offend a person that believes and trusts in the process the Most High is taking. Nothing's going to make a person doubt their work in the Lord. Make a person doubt their sacrifice in the Lord.
Nothing that they see is going to offend them to where they don't maintain that love
And stop believing.
and stop believing and stop seeing the good and the lesson through it. There's always a spiritual lesson if you love the Most High.
Just verse 167, because it explains how to keep this perspective. Read.
God, verse 167. My soul has kept thy
When we
testimony.
think about all the times the Most High came through for us, we're in our lowest
Hell no. Because what we can't think is we keep projecting evil. We keep meditating on worst case scenarios. We keep meditating on delusion and vain, erroneous thoughts and untruths that you don't know for sure, but you're so scared. All you choose to see is the word versus choosing to see this one statement. The Most High loved you enough to bring you in. He loved you enough when you were sitting back here selling drugs, selling your body, or being a whore, or being negative. He chose you when you were at your worst. And if he chose you and loved you when you were at your worst, why would you sit back here and doubt him now and not love him now? And how we show a lack of favor and love to the Most High is when we allow these vain thoughts to dominate, these fears, these insecurities, the negative outlook, this doom and gloom, the paranoia of loss. All these things that pop in your head that cripple you from holding on to the love of the Most High. He hasn't shown you one time that he ain't there for you. But all you got is thoughts about how he's not going to be there for you.
Yeah.
If that is psychosis.
Yeah.
That is delusion.
That's bipolar.
When he's been there your entire life and even more in the truth, and now he's going to let you down. Now he's going to turn his back on you and you're going to fall and your life's going to suck. But then you still want to be defended? Keep going to your point. Sorry.
Read from the top again.
God, verse 167. Psalms 119, 167.
What we're reading is how to maintain this thought process. It's not the full answer, but it's what David was using to keep his love for the law. Because David also wasn't a perfect man. He had his doubts. He had times when he was almost about to fall out the spirit, almost about to slip. And he says it himself. And in the same chapter, actually. But what he's saying is,
But at least, I'm going to cut you off. At least he had the presence of mind to know that his thoughts were out of the spirit.
exactly.
Half of us don't even know that our thoughts are out of the spirit.
Exactly.
We just got strong feelings and we adhere to them.
Yeah.
And this is the scary thing about Israel and their delusion. We will walk around here scared as hell, have all these negative outlooks, and not even realize that half the thoughts we got are out the spirit. I'm sorry, keep going. I'm going to scare.
No, you're 100% right. It's out the spirit. And like you said, if you don't know that it's out the spirit, then how can you be corrected?
Bro,
What questions are you going to ask?
you're not
What
gonna-
advice are you going to seek?
you're not gonna be able to because like we going earlier, you're still living in that false reality. You're not gonna be able to.
You know, it's crazy. I was talking to Karai about it. This brother he met at the mall.
Yeah.
And, he could probably tell the story a little better, but I'm going to let you tell the story. It was crazy.
So I was at his own. It was a brother. He was trying to ask for some help because he was trying to get a ride. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna offer him my, try to give a phone call to his family and whatnot. Anyways, I'm trying to help the brother, and out of nowhere, his brother comes out of nowhere and he's just talking crazy about the Heavenly Father, man.
Okay.
Talking about he doesn't help me and this and that. I'm not gonna cuss, but he said vulgar words about the Heavenly Father, and I'm sitting there like, bro, like, why are we even thinking like this about the Lord? Like, I mean, have not the Most High been protecting you this whole entire time? Has He not been taking care of you? Has He not gave you family, shelter, everything that you needed for your life Has he not given that to you? Nah.
You know, it's crazy. We forget. And the beauty, we're doing the Spanish classes, and I'm having the brothers also do research about other countries, our people are living in third world scenarios. And what it does for you, when you really study how people live, it makes you appreciate what the Most High has given you. You might not have it all. You might not be in the most ideal, whatever your ideal circumstance is. It is nothing compared to what it could have been if you're born inside of the
Listen, bro. When I went to Guatemala being a fake Spanish speaker. Damn, rico!
Aceite!
Put on aceite! When I was a fake Spanish speaker selling oil in Guatemala, I saw how bad it was. How little children at 4 and 5 years old, their mother and father depends on the panhandling of 4 and 5-year-olds.
Yes, that's real. That's real.
They depend on that as real income. They're sitting back here. They're trained to talk to tourists. They're trained to gain favor. They're trained to sit back here and extract whatever they can to bring home. I've seen families take baths in like the you ever seen the public fountains? Public is taking baths in public fountains because they have no other access to water. And we're tripping on the side of town of the apartment we live in.
Or how about this?
Or we're tripping on our bills, or we're tripping on what kind of car we have, and we don't have a car yet, and we don't have this. Brother, it isn't. All the tribes, all the total tribes are down everywhere else, suffering. Sitting back here living in not wood homes.
I got one better for you. I just watched a documentary about in 2019 they found the last remaining 21 survivors in Chihuahua that were kidnapped and forced to work for Sicarios, so the cartels in Sinaloa. And what happened was with those, what they were saying is, you know, we're 20 of thousands in this group. We're the only ones that escaped or that were safe. There was many different camps, many different plantations, but they were coming from Venezuela, they were coming from Guatemala, and they just came to work.
Well, just so you know, just for greater clarification, there is a train.
Yes.
Easy.
That flows up from like Central America.
Yeah.
And hundreds of people every time the train runs just stay on top of the train.
Kind of.
And they are sitting back here holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you're on the outside edge of the train and the guy in the middle wants to fall asleep on you? I believe it's a movie.
Yeah.
But listen, people are falling asleep on this train and they wake up dead.
And never wake up.
And then if this big 300-pound guy wants to roll over on you, what are you going to do? You might die with him.
Yeah.
So that's one major fear. But then when you get to Mexico, the cartels are waiting for you. And if you're an attractive young lady, you're going to work and be an escort for the rest of your life until you get too old, age out, and we kill you. Or you'll be a young man and you'll work the fields
And
for the rest of your life.
On that point, like these people that were found, they were living in caves.
Yeah.
They were living in caves in Chihuahua. So when they found them, they're like, look, we hardly eat. And then they're also having fear of other gangs and cartels that are killing the other cartels. So they're getting caught in crossfire. They're getting caught in, like for instance.
You better hope your oppressor don't die, because the next oppressor who wins might be worse than you, worse than them. This guy.
It's real. But this is,
And we're tripping on American problems.
you know what? The American dream.
Then they went over the white man. Oh, the white man, the devil at the bottom. Okay.
The American dream sells Satan harder than anything. Because all it does, it gives you a false idea that you deserve more than you should.
Got it.
It gives you an idea that, like, the rest of the world is suffering. Most of the world is suffering. Most of the world is in poverty. You all realize that.
This is
right?
why the Most High talks about the unwalled cities, which is the United States, is going to be the last to get touched. The rest of this place is going down the dumps. Quick.
Fast.
You ever see these homes in these cities that are on water and stilts? And it's just trash and feces all in the water floating around you all damn day long?
There's a lot of cities like
And we tripping about, and that's what I'm saying. We tripping about apartment living or smaller homes, and we're complaining. The Most High has given you luxuries the rest of the world doesn't have. And all he's saying is, serve me with gladness and joyfulness of heart, and we refuse to do that. And we expect the Most High to give us grace and mercy. We really expect that. We are delusional. We have that is what vain thoughts literally is.
You know, and that's why I brought up before, but the study of depression, they call it the white suburban girl because
We're a bunch of white suburban girls.
there's a reason.
Black people are white suburban girls.
Because you don't get
That's the
you
truth.
can't buy.
We roll like white suburban. We roll like damn Beck. That's how black men roll in Israel. That's facts.
Can't get them matcha.
Like prima donnas.
Starbucks.
Yeah, I don't get my coffee. I'm vexed. What do you? This is how we roll. I didn't get my 8 hours.
That's real. That's real.
It's the truth.
It's hard to get 8 hours sleep.
I got it correct.
It's hard when you live in the desert and there's no AC. Trying to get 8 hours sleep. And there's bugs.
Sleeping on rocks.
And there's kissing bloods coming up from the floor, biting you in your sleep. Mosquitoes is fighting with you all night long, and you worry about 8 hours.
And you don't have no nutrition. There's no food.
No.
There's no food to eat. And but some tortillas, maybe. When I was in Guatemala, there was no meat. Unless you want to eat rats. Listen, when things get bad in Guatemala, guess what's scare us in the city?
And dogs.
Wild dogs.
Oh, Cuba.
There are no dogs when there's starvation in the city. You know these damn animals, that animal that keeps trying to come in the house? There's an easy solution for that damn dog. There will be no more yellow dog that roams the house.
I'm sorry.
That animal will be somebody's skewed dinner meal. Right? You think I'm lying? And I never forget it. I was going to those outdoor markets, and this one chicken was out there all day, bro. I was like, dude, okay, if it doesn't get bought out today, you gonna bring it tomorrow?
Yes.
With all these flies sitting back here, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Can you refrigerate it? No. What I'm saying is, can you put in some ice? Can you at least put in some ice? No. The answer is hell no. So the skin is getting drier and drier. It's out here hanging on the market. I'm like, bro, this is some sucker's gonna go eat it. I gotta get some meat. I gotta get some meat.
Got worms and everything.
Well, it's the worst. It's the worst, but that's what you got. It's that, or you're in the rich side of town. And then the people are so broken with diet, they have plenty of resources to eat vegetables. They don't eat the vegetables. They'll eat that one chicken that's got 1,000 flies in it. And they will not eat the volcanic from vegetables and fruits that have all the nutrients you need.
Yeah. Or they don't have access to it.
Those
are by private company.
No, they do. No. There's outdoor, well, at least in Guatemala. There's outdoor markets. You can go right there, but you're ready to sit back here and go to the pulga, the Guatemalan pulga, and sit back here and get you some 3-day-old chicken that has no refrigeration on it. You'll do that versus sitting back here and eating fruits and vegetables. This is like Israel. The Jew don't want to eat vegetables.
No.
Do we? No. We want chicken. We want fried chicken. That's what the Jew wants. It's facts. That's what the Jew wants. Anyway, continue with your points. We gotta get back.
Yeah, finish that last verse.
Psalms 119, 167.
That's good. Fruit? What?
Hell no.
I'll get grape drink. They didn't even grapes. Let me stop.
Finish that.
Now, verse 167. My soul hath kept thy testimonies, and I love them that exceeding.
But this is the only way I can keep the Most High in a positive perspective. I have to love and hold on to all the times He came through for me when it wasn't deserved. That's the only way that I can go through my life and take L's, go through my long suffering season, and not be offended. Go through my patience test and not be offended.
Keep going. I'm sorry. Let me know when you're done.
That's it. Okay.
Go back to 1 John. Start at verse 17. We're going to go to verse 19. We got to go back in this topic about love more.
We said 1 John 5. 5 or 4?
1 John 4.
4:19.
18.
1 John 4.
Matter of fact, give me verse 16. 1 John 4, verse 16 and 19.
1 John.
Matter of fact, go to 15, bro. Sorry.
1 John chapter 4, verse 15.
I'm going to be going over this whole chapter. Not now. Read verse 15.
Whosoever shall confess that Yahushua is the Son of the Most High dwelleth in him, and he in the Most High.
So first of all, if you're confessing that Christ is real, you're also confessing to following Christ's way. So if you're going to follow Christ's way, if you're acknowledging his existence and his reality, you have a shot at salvation. Read on.
And we have known that and believe that love, the love that the Most High has for us.
So first of all, once you understand and you accept Christ, then you have to acknowledge that the Most High loved us enough to bring us, which means the Most High loves us unequivocally, and the Most High has never given up on us. And the Most High's intention has always been to develop us and bless us and strengthen us. Read on.
The Most High is love.
The Most High is love. Why is that so important? You have to trust the Most High is love. Because if you can trust the Most High's love, then your perspective can begin to get reformed. Then your outlook, your negative, vain perspective can start getting cleaned up. Read on.
Come. And he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in the Most High.
So when you dwell in love, when you dwell with the understanding that the Most High loves you, now you can dwell in the Heavenly Father's mindset and presence. This is about finding a way to get connected and attached to how the Most High thinks. If you understand that the Most High loves us, you can begin to love the Most High. Read on.
And the Most High in him. Wherein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment.
So listen, our love is made perfect when we are what? When we have boldness in the day of judgment. Our love is made perfect when we are bold during the time of our challenges. How many times when we're facing adversity, we are confident the Most High loves us? When things are going hard for us, are we bold in trusting that the Most High is going to sit back here, he's teaching me or her a spiritual lesson, and he's going to get me through this, and I'm going to get the spiritual lesson through? Are we bold during the time of judgment? The answer is most of the time we're not. We're fretting, we're disconnected, we're full of fear, we're full of hesitancy, we're skeptical during the time of judgment. Now we know that this verse is saying our love is made perfect so that in the time of judgment we'll be strong. But how are you going to get bold and confident in the time of judgment if you aren't bold and confident when the Most High is testing you in these preliminary scenarios? Aren't we rehearsing the righteous acts? So when we're rehearsing the righteous acts, is our love bold then? Most of the time it's not. Why are we going through anything we're going through now? To prepare us for the wilderness. Right or wrong? Yeah. So if we're going through all these things to prepare us for the wilderness so we can be bold in our love for the Most High in the wilderness, how are we supposed to act when we're facing adversity now? We're supposed to trust the Most High loves us through adversity. And we have to respond to the adversity with more love, trusting that all he's doing is teaching us virtues we need for down the line. How many of us have the capacity through adversity to trust the Most High still loves us and to trust that whatever he's putting us through, he's developing us for down the line? There's no space for fear if you love him and you trust he loves you. Read on.
Come. Because as he is, so are we in this world.
Read again, verse 17.
Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment. Because as he is, so are we in this world.
We're supposed to be bold and loving to the body of Christ, like he's been bold and loving to us, even before we came to the knowledge of him. Before, when we were in the world sinning, he loved us then. We have an obligation to be bold and love him now. Read on.
Verse 18, there is no fear in love.
If I love the Most High, I am not consumed with what I'm going through, what I'm losing, what I'm battling, what I'm going through in my life. I'm not consumed with that fear if I really love the Most High. Because if I love the Most High, I trust the Most High. If I love him, I trust him. I trust that whatever he's putting me through is to develop my spirit, and it ties back into the Romans 8:28 verse. Read that verse again. Romans 8:28. Romans 8:28. Come on now, come on now. Give us a
Romans chapter 8, verse 28.
come on.
It says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High.
If you love the Most High, you have the capacity to see that whatever I'm going through is to develop me and it's for my own good. If I fear the Most High, if I don't trust the Most High, then I'm going to sit back and think that things that I'm going through are for my detriment. Because whether I'm going through adversity, or I'm getting blessed, or I'm going through some type of an issue, it's still for my spiritual growth.
Yeah.
Right or wrong.
Yeah.
Whether I'm being corrected, whether I'm going through some life or death situation, whether I'm going through a good time, I'm supposed to learn how to be spiritual when things are up, learn how to be spiritual when things are down, learn how to be spiritual when I'm not getting the things I think I need. I'm required to be spiritual in all of these arenas. So if I'm required to be spiritual regardless of the condition, I'm supposed to always love the Most High and never be consumed with fear. Because do you believe that everything you're going through is for the benefit of your spirit? Like Romans 8:28 says, if you do, there's no fear in love. Read on. There's no, because what is fear? Fear is to sit back here. It is the betraying of the what? The course that reason off. Fear is a delusion. But right or wrong? Fear is a betraying of comfort that how you process provides. Fear is I am consumed about what might happen down the line that's not favorable, that might not work in my favor. If that's fear, most of like, if you love the Most High, you don't think like that. If you love the Most High, you're not consumed and paralyzed by the fear of what's going to happen down the line, the fear of loss, the fear of death, the fear of anything. If you really love the Most High, because if I love the Most High, I trust wherever He's taking me is for my benefit. So love and faith go hand in hand. Because if I love the Most High, I believe He's going to take me the direction I need to be taken for my spiritual growth. So I can sit back here and be purged, so I can be a better service to other people. But do you really love? If you have fear, if you have doubt, you really don't love. If you allow the fatalistic side of you, the vain side of you, the vanity of you, the natural side of you to win, that means you really don't love Him. Because if you love Him, you trust that whatever you're going through, He's going to deliver you through it. And that thinking directly resonates in your life.
I like what you're saying, Walt, too, because a lot of people will say that they love the Most High, but right here we're proving that the fact that you need to trust in the Heavenly Father But like you were saying, faith and love is the same exact thing. So
Yeah.
you need to have faith in order for you to know what love really
Well,
is.
what is faith? It's the capacity to not lean to how you process things. And because once again, whether it was a verse in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 9 that talks about the mortal man's thoughts always lead to death and misery. And we explain that a vanity and the vain thoughts or fruitless desires or endeavors or empty thoughts or lies. You can't have that type of processing and see the good in the Most High and see the good in wherever He's forecasting you down the line. You can't have a deceivable nature and love the Most High. So what does the Most High do? When He's putting us through all of these difficult circumstances, He's trying to give us further scenarios to get us to the honorable seed and get us out of the dishonorable seed. He's trying to give us opportunities to cleave to Him. When we sit back and face adversity, we look at it as a death sentence, but He's trying to sit back and revive us and get Him closer to Him. Because whenever you face adversity, you have an opportunity to love the Most High and cleave to Him or cleave to your delusion. So every adverse scenario is a chance for you to gain some traction in all of your spiritual failed endeavors you've been stomping your foot on for these last 10, 15, 20 years, or however long you've been in the truth. Read on.
Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High.
He says, all things work together for good to him that love the Most High. If I can see the good in the Most High, if I can see the spiritual lesson the Most High is providing me, then guess what? I will learn the lesson. But if I don't see the Most High is going to come through for me favorable, guess what's going to happen? Something bad's going to happen. You're actually bringing bad to you when you can't see the good. When you are meditating on the bad, guess what happens? Bad happens. So it's almost like you are fatalistic and your negative forecasting will bring sin your way and bring failure and sadness your way. Because as a man thinketh what?
So is he.
That's the point. There is a verse that I had that explains that. Hold that, or hold your verse. Go to Psalms 81, verse 11 through 16. I'm going out of order on this one, but the Spirit took us there, so because I know we're never going to get to this verse. The pace we're going. I think this is the one. Psalms 81, verse 11. Yeah. Psalms 81, 11 through 16.
God. Psalms 81, verse 11. But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me.
Israel would not just see the good in the Most High. Because we didn't want to love the Most High and accept that whatever He was taking us through was for our betterment. Whether it was when we were in Egypt and we left Egypt, when we were in the wilderness, we couldn't see that where the Most High was taking us and how He was developing us was to benefit our spirit. And actually it was the greatest love He could give us because we couldn't see it was love. And we refused to see how what He puts us through was love. Read on.
God says, verse 11. But my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. So I gave them up to their own heart's love.
So He says, because you couldn't see the good in me, then I'm going to give your mind to your skepticism. If you want to see the worst in the situation, then guess what? Your worst fears will come to you. If you want to distrust, you're going to find a reason to distrust. If you want to be fatalistic, you will find fatalism. If you keep meditating on how somebody's going to leave you or quit you, guess what He will? He's going to give you over to the thoughts and the sickness and the delusion that you feed. He's going to give you over to the worst case scenario. If you want to be distrustful, then you'll get a reason to be distrustful. And when you fall into that pit, you will have all your reasons not to love the Most High. And he will allow you not to love the Most High. He will allow you to distrust the Most High. He will allow you to see the worst in your spiritual circumstance. But when you do, you've also lost your relationship with him. Read on.
And they walked in their own counsel.
They walked in their own way of looking at things. So he says, the more you do it, the more you feed it, I'm going to let you believe in your own counsel, in your own cistern, in your own vain way of looking at things. Read on.
Verse 13. Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways.
If Israel just trusted the Most High, if Israel stopped fueling their vain outlooks, their natural, carnal, selfish ways of processing things, if they just chose to see the good in the Most High and to believe that the Most High loves them. Now we understand why Paul keeps saying, you got to know the Most High loves you. Because if the Most High loves you, whatever he's putting you through is to benefit you. If you can't conceptualize that, you will continue to fall to your delusion. You'll continue to distrust. You'll continue to fear. You'll continue to, what do you call it, a war? Whatever, you'll conceptualize your own demise. The vanity you're playing with, you are feeding and fueling what will actually make you fall. What's that? Whatever you create, whatever you fall into,
Thy own wickedness will.
thy own wickedness shall correct you. Read on.
Come, verse 14. I should soon have subdued their enemies.
He said, if you just would have trusted the Most High and trusted that he loves you and that whatever he's putting you through is to develop your spirit, if you trust that, then the obstacles that are in front of you, whether it's health, literal people, difficult scenarios, he will sit back here and subdue these issues if you love the Most High enough to see he was going to come through for you and get out of your delusion. But he can't give you what you need until you remove the delusion out of your head and choose to see the Most High in a good light. Because if you see the Most High in a good light, and if you love him, whatever sufferings you're going through is to build your spirit up. And you have to embrace that. Read on.
And turned my hand against their adversaries.
He says the adversaries would have fell if you just would have trusted the Most High and believed and loved him. We say we love the Most High, but you're a liar. You're a liar if you say you love the Most High, if you can't see the good and the spiritual lesson through everything you're going through. You're a liar. And what does the next verse say you are? You're a liar and you're also what?
The haters of the Lord.
You're a hater of the Lord. You're a hater of the Most High if you don't see the good in what he's putting you through. You really hate him. You don't love him, you hate him. That's why if you have fear, skepticism, can't see the good in what the Most High is putting you through, you hate him, you don't love him like you say you do. Because you will be able to come to the spiritual solution of whatever you're going through if you can hold on to Romans 8:28 and believe that whatever you're going through, the Most High is trying to teach you a lesson, a spiritual lesson. Then it's a matter of just studying and reading and getting counsel to get the clarity. The Most High always wants to develop you and build you up. So now the question is, how do I have to look and search to prove that his intention is to fix and develop me in this situation? And if you lack the capacity to do that, that means you're choosing your vanity, you're choosing your emotions, you're choosing your feelings, you're choosing your delusions. And when you do that, you love yourself and you hate him. Because people that refuse to follow his counsel, refuse to see the good in what he's putting you through.
Yeah.
Read verse 15 again.
God, Psalms 81 and 15. The haters of the Lord should have submitted themselves unto him, but their time should have endured forever.
God. And he says, but their time should have endured forever. The Most High is like, because you hated the Most High. Read it again from the top. I was looking at these verses. Read it again.
The haters of the Lord should have submitted themselves unto him.
How do you submit yourself to the Most High? We can go through all the specific details of laws and concepts, but the overall point of submission is to see that whatever the Lord is putting me through is for my betterment. We can go into all the other semantics, but there's too many people with too many complex circumstances in their life to detail everybody's fear, doubt, hesitation, and delusion. But I can tell you this, your delusion, when you get to the beginning and end of it, will not tell you that whatever the Most High is putting you through is the right thing. That's how you know it's a delusion. Because the end result of that thought is not taking you to loving and appreciating and being happy about what the Lord is putting you. And that's how you know it's off. And that's how you know you're showing hatred towards the Father. Because you lack the capacity that whatever you're thinking, to be able to at least diagnose that this thought is wicked. Because it's taking me to a place that's not appreciative of what the Most High is putting me. It's demonic. If you can do that, you're on the right track. Read on.
The haters of the Lord should have submitted themselves unto him, but their time should have endured forever.
Their time would have endured forever if their thoughts were worthy of living forever. So what is it? He will give you more time if your thoughts and your appreciation and your love deserves it, earns it. Why get more time? Why get blessings if you haven't really learned how to love the Most High? And you're riddled with fear. All fear is distrust. Am I right or wrong? Distrust that whatever I'm going through is going to work out. Distrust that by holding on to these spiritual premises is going to work out. Distrust that being humble is a solution. Distrust that long suffering is the answer. Distrust that studying and reading and cleaving to the scriptures is the answer. It's all a byproduct of fear. And if fear is in you, how do you expect to prove the Most High to the Most High that you love him? When the Most High is repeatedly showing you love, you lack the capacity to even see and confirm his love in your life. Everybody with razor sharp focus can write down on paper who has offended you and who's done you wrong. But you can't write on one stinking piece of paper all the good the Most High has done. That's facts. We can sit back here with technical, scientific precision, explain all the haters in our life. Better than Drake and his Iceman out. He's sitting back here going and talking about every hater with scientific precision. But ask him how all the good. You can't see it. Oh, he's blinded by hate. But we're no different. We're blinded by all the things that didn't go our way and can't see the good and the blessings and the beauty the Most High has presented to us our entire lives. Okay, read on.
Verse 16. He should have fed them also with the finest of the wheat, and with honey out of the rock should I have satisfied thee.
He said the Most High was trying to give us the best, but he can't give you the best if you can't see the good in him. If you can't be convinced that whatever he's putting you through is to develop you and to strengthen you and to bless you. He wants to give you the best of the honey and the best of the wheat, but he can't reward doubtful, fearful behavior, distrustful behavior, vain and delusion behavior. But he wants to give you the world. We keep ourselves from the blessings that were intended for us. Let's go back. There's more, and I don't think that was that was a good verse, but that wasn't the one I was really looking for. But I don't want to change up all the flow that we're going. Let's go back to 1 John. 1 John 4:18 again.
1 John 4:18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear.
He said, there's no fear in love. Once again, if I really love the Most High, there's no reservations in my outlook about what the Most High is putting. That means you have to have learned to see the good and the lessons and the beauty of whatever you've experienced in Christ. If you don't have that, you don't have perfect love. Read on.
Because fear has torment.
Fear has torment. How many of us are tormented by our doubt, tormented by our skepticism, tormented by thinking about the worst things that might happen to us? We are tormented by worst case scenarios, plagued with seeing the worst of what might happen in our life. That's why a lot of us entertain this fear, ends up seeing things. Ends up having spirits coming to them. Some of us are tied into that. When you're really seeing the worst of your delusions, some of us have little spirits come and see you. Am I right or wrong? I'm not lying. When you're really out of pocket, shit starts coming to your house. Yeah. Hey, yes, man, yes, man, some coals. Oh, what do you need coals for? It feels kind of cold in the house. Cold. So what do you mean? I think I might see something in the cold. Why are you seeing something in the cold? What you seeing in the cold for? What's going on? What's going on in your spirit?
He got some
I ain't need some coals, dog. I ain't need some coals. I'll get them. Then you get the little cheap flea market that says that. I'm not tripping. What am I just saying that? Well, what I'm saying is, sometimes when you hold on to those solutions, you got guys coming, hanging, little spirits, little castles coming to your house out, causing calamities out. Yeah. These spirits be like 8 foot tall. Yeah. 8 foot tall guys.
Yeah. Long arms.
Or whatever they are. Or you wake up and you sit back here and you can't move. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah. Uh-oh. Them thoughts is here now. That's what them thoughts bring you. You wake up and you can't move? You ain't got to raise your hand. And you had that happen to you. You can do this. You can look to the left, look to the right. Really scary. Then you go and send prayers up. Y'all send me outside. Baba Kusha. Le quoi? Maya now. All right. Then it's the prayer guy coming out, or the prayer guy. But the issue is all the delusions you're playing with from the start, from the beginning. Or your actual filled spirits, or you sit back here and can't find any peace of mind. And you're just sitting back here constantly plagued with torments of what's the worst that can happen to you.
Yeah.
Is that not a thing too? It becomes like an obsession. You can't get it out of your mind. Then you can't sleep. Then after a certain threshold of not getting sleep, then you start saying some weird stuff. Then you start posting weird things. This brother's tripping. Why are they tripping? It starts with the fear. It starts with the distrust of the Most High. And when you start distrusting the Most High's plans for you, the Most High's intent for you, then the torment comes. The torment comes because you distrust the direction the Most High's taking you in your life. This is the answer to why we're plagued with insomnia, while we're plagued with literal spirits holding us down, constraining us, mania. We sit back here and we stress out so long with no sleep, we start snapping. All this happens because we're plagued with too many thoughts we don't attack. Too many thoughts that aren't Christ-like. Too many thoughts that are delusion and not connected to cleaving to him. Fear, distrust, seeing the worst in things brings torment to you. You're ornery, you're snappy. You're not as patient as you used to be. You don't enjoy life the way you used to be. It's clear statement. Because fear hath torment. Read on.
Because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love.
If you fear, if you distrust, you can't see the good and what the Most High is taking you through any endeavor, that means you're not made perfect in love, but you can't get close to Christ unless you're made perfect in love. All perfect love means is I have perfect trust that whatever I'm going through, there's a lesson there. So now I just got to ask questions and counsel to find out the lesson he's trying to teach me. The solution, half of the battle is over if you love and trust the Most High. Do whatever you're going through. Half the battle is over. Because if you can do that, then you don't attach the pain of the offenses you've gone through. So when people wound you, they affect you, they hurt you, they break your heart, they let you down, that doesn't matter as much. Because despite the pain, despite the torment, despite the letdowns, you have the capacity to still love the Most High and say, the Most High is teaching me something through this.
Yeah.
You know how many people can never get to the lesson because they can't get past the offense and how the offense made them feel? How the negative interactions made them feel? But whenever we get paralyzed by the negative interactions and how they make us feel, we show the Most High in real time that we don't love him. Because as I'm being offended, do you have the capacity to say, hey, what is the Most High teaching me about me? Because if your capacity and what's in your tendency is when you're offended, you withdraw, that means Christ ain't in you. When I sit back here and I get hurt, so I just cut you off. That's the coward's way to do things. That's the easy way. That ain't Christ. I have to have the capacity to be offended and say, okay, I was let down, I was hurt. The Most High is teaching me what? Forgiveness. Long suffering. So if I can sit back here and accept that, I stay connected to the Most High, and I can still work with the people that have hurt me. But the linchpin is the fact that if you love the Most High, whatever you're going through, however you've been hurt, however you've been done wrong, the Most High is teaching me something that I need to grow.
Yeah.
But every other thought outside of that is a delusion and it's vanity. It's vanity. And those vain thoughts feed that deceivable nature in us. And that deceivable nature turns us into those lukewarm spiritual candidates. And all those lukewarm spiritual candidates will be spit out. So it doesn't behoove us to not trust in the Most High's intent, because that's what it is. Fear is a distrust of the Most High's intent in developing. We don't have the luxury to play around with our minds and our outlook with these negative intentions about the Most High's plans for us. Because his plans are always to develop us and love us. Even before, when we were in the womb, that was his intention. Does the understanding of the Most High's love make more sense now? You have to know he loves you so you can choose to cleave to the spiritual outlook that whatever you're going through, he's here to develop you and strengthen you. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no other hidden meaning There's no other deeper thoughts you need to take. It's that simple. That's why Christ said the simplicity that's in Christ.
Yeah.
1 Corinthians, I should say.
Yeah.
He says, the Christ is simple. Most High loves me, so whatever I'm going through, he's developing my spirit to get closer to him. There ain't nothing else to it. Everything else is sin. Let your yeas be yea and your nay be nay. That's the lesson. There's nothing else to it. Everything else is a delusion. Everything else is vanity. Everything else is sensual and natural in nature. Everything else is about feeding my ego, my pride, my fears, my doubt, my hate, my distrust. So let it all go. Read on.
1 John 4:19. We love him because he first loved us.
We love him because he first loved us. We give the Most High that benefit of the doubt. We choose to see that whatever the Most High is putting us through is for our betterment, because he pulled us out of using drugs, selling drugs, destroying our people, destroying ourselves. He pulled us out of a life of failures. So because he sat back here and loved us enough to give us an opportunity for salvation, that's why we love him. And that's why we choose to see that whatever he's putting us through is to develop us. Go back to Romans 8:28.
Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High.
Again, do you really believe that? 1 John 4:19 says we love the Most High because he first loved us. But what does loving him mean? Read that verse again.
Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together for good.
Stop. Everything that we go through works together for the good. If you what?
To them that love the Most High.
You can see that everything the Most High is putting you through is to develop your spirit, that it will turn out good. But if you don't see that whatever you're going through is to develop your spirit for the good, it won't turn out good. That's the linchpin. And can you accept that? Can you accept that reality? To the pure, all things are what? Pure. But to the defiled and unbelieving, what? Nothing is pure. And when nothing is pure, your results will be impure. The results of your endeavor will be impure. So you have to choose to accept that whatever you're losing, whatever you're suffering, he is teaching you something in it. And if you can serve, and then you tie that in with ask, seek, and knock. What are you asking for? What's the lesson? What is he teaching you? What good is he teaching me through this circumstance? That's what we should be waiting for, and looking for, and asking for, and seeking for, and knocking for. And that's how we show the Most High love. It's not about knowing exactly how he's loving us at the time. You just got to know he loves you. And then you start the quest of getting the understanding and answers with the perspective and the answer. You already know he loves you. Yeah. Now it's about figuring out in what way and what he's putting you through and what you're supposed to learn through this process that's for your spiritual betterment. If you can do that, half the battle is won. Yeah. And you can overcome the delusion that destroys most of us. I don't want to go any further. I think that's enough. Are there any questions? It's a little shorter than normal, but I don't want to go back into the class. I think the Spirit took it that way, and we're going to leave it. All right? While I'm tuning in, y'all, listen, if you have any questions, just email us at isbhpk@yahoo, and we'll go from there. Salam.